Hey guys, here is a bomber jacket tutorial that I have been promising, and everybody loves our bomber jackets. I'm even doing a class on it today for some of my students. But we're making Simplicity 8418, this one right here, and I have it laid out. I'm doing a white on white, just like this one here that's in the on the mannequin. This is a white twill that I've already washed. It's really important to wash your bomber jacket fabric because it's going to be an outer garment and you want the fabric to be as treated as possible. I'm also going to do white knit accents, the cuffs, the bottom band. The cuffs here, the bottom band, and the collar will be white knit for this particular jacket. So let's get started. We'll go step by step, get this cut out, and I will show you how to make a bomber jacket that you can wear tonight. Thanks. Hey guys, I want to show you a few tips here. Just general pattern tips was really important. So cut your notches, stickers on pattern pieces where there's circles. These are the circles that are going to match up the pockets. This is the front, and here the placement for the pockets. So what I'm going to do is just move the pattern pieces out of the way. Take circles. I bought these circles out of dollar store. I just go in there and see if there's anything sewing related that I can buy. So I line them up, put them right there where my size is. Okay, and this size we're doing a 12. And put the circles right there on both sides. Okay, put them on both sides. And then, so anyway, just do all of your notches in on your pattern pieces, okay, and any other circles that you have. Here's the pockets, and here are the circles here. So you want to put your stickers on the pocket piece as well, the same stickers, and try to match up the stickers so you can. There's different ones. I use them for different reasons, okay? And another little tip, this fabric is the same color on both sides, right? So you can tell this is a 12 fabric. And the only reason I know the inside and the outside is the weave. I can look at it. I looked at the selvage when I first cut it. So this is the only way I can tell. So what I'll do, just to keep myself reminded of what is the right side and the wrong side, I will put a sticker on my right side of my fabric so I can keep up with it. Okay, and I know anytime I'm moving my my garment pieces around, that this is the correct side, the right side of the fabric, because we'll be stitching right sides together. So take all of your pattern pieces, your fabric pieces, and put a sticker on the right side of the fabric so you can keep up with it. Okay? Good tips there. Anything else? We'll put circles here where the pocket pieces are, on the back where the pocket markings are on the back, and we'll cut all the notches. Knit pieces. Piece number 6, 7, and 9. Here's the sleeve band, and it's cut 2 pieces, and here is the neck band, which gets cut on the fold, and number 9, the lower band, which gets cut on the fold. Now, if you buy real rib knit, sometimes it comes in a 36, like a 24-inch width, and it's a tube, so it's folded on both sides. So I got this out of Joann's, but sometimes you can just use a regular knit and you treat it just like regular fabric, but this just happens to be folded on both sides, so you can use either side. So I'm going to use piece number 6 here, piece number 7 here on the fold, right here on the fold, and piece number 9 comes in on the fold also. Let's maximize this so we can make sure we have enough for another jacket. Okay, here and here. Okay, And I'll be going really slowly when it's time to do this to show you the techniques that I use to apply the stretch knit onto the woven piece, the jacket pieces. Okay. Okay, let's put the pockets on first. So take your back piece, and I've marked, this is the right side. These where my dots are. So turn it on its right side so you're looking at it. And then I've marked the dots because you're going to match up the dots and a notch on the pocket pieces. So here is pocket pieces that we're going to match up, and we're doing right sides together. So here are those, here are the dots on the wrong side of the back piece. We're just going to match those up. There's a notch here also, so match up your notch and make sure your pocket pieces are done. And then when I pin, I usually pin right at the notch because that's my marking. And then I'll do the other side, match up the notch, and we're doing right sides together on the pocket piece and the back side, the back garment piece. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on the front piece. Do the same thing on the front piece. We'll match up the pocket pieces on the right side of the front. Okay, we're going to open up the front pieces and put the pocket pieces right sides together, and the dots are going to match up. Pin that down. And just FYI, I'm going to follow the pattern, the instructions. If later you're following the pattern instructions, I may not go in the same order. I'm going to follow the exact techniques, but I may not go in the order. And I'll tell you why. The zipper is what I'd like to do first, so you have enough room. The jacket's not all, all the way put together with sleeves and everything. So I like to do the zipper next. Once you get the back and the front together, I like to do the zipper because it'll be easier if not a whole lot is in your way. Make sense? Okay, so we got the pocket pieces on the front, pin down on the front, and pin down on the back piece. And we're going to stitch down 5/8 inch from the top to the bottom on both sides. So we'll stitch 3/8 starting from edge to edge of the pocket. I typically press my seams open, and then I press them back, especially for pockets, of course. Okay, just to get my seams pressed nicely. So one thing we're going to do on the front pocket pieces, so here's the front, and you can see I've removed the stickers from the pocket side, because what we're going to do is understitch. We're going to understitch on the seam so that for the design of the garment, we're going to make sure that the pocket on the front lies flat. So here's the seam. I've pressed the seam towards the pocket, and what we're going to do is understitch through all thicknesses of the seam onto the pocket. Okay. This is a really nice finishing technique. Most patterns will instruct you to understitch. see how, so this is how nice the pocket will lay on the front. Okay, it'll lay nicely, but that's what the understitching looks like. And we're going to do that on both front pocket pieces, pocket sides rather. We're not going to do it on the back because we want that to stay flat because the direction of the pocket on the back piece. So, same thing on the, keep getting a string. The same thing on the front. So this is what the front jacket pieces will look like with the pocket stitched down. Okay, nice. Okay, here's the back side, and now we're going to stitch the back to the front. And here are the two front pieces. So we're going to match up the pockets and pocket seams, pockets and side seams. Rather, we're going to match those up. Let's pin here and pin here. What we're going to do is stitch 5/8 side seam down to this circle and the bottom side seam up to this circle. Okay, and we're going to stitch 5/8 all around the pocket here. I'm sorry, you can't see. So we're going to stitch 5/8 side seam down to this circle and 5/8 bottom side seam up to this circle. And we're going to stitch 5/8 all around the side and bottom of the pocket. Same on this side. Lay down the front side, the front piece, matching the pocket seams, matching pockets and pocket seams. We're going to stitch 5/8 side seam down to this circle and 5/8 side bottom side to this circle, and stitch 5/8 all around the edge of the pocket. We'll stitch down to the circle and we'll just stop and pivot. You don't have to take it out. So just stitch down to the circle, go through your sticker, it's okay. And then stop, foot up, turn, and pivot. Stay on your 5/8 target. And we're going to stitch around the pocket. I'll do a back stitch right there. Stop and pivot right here also. Now remember those holes you get in your pockets when you know, just over time you put stuff in your pocket? This is where that comes from. So stop here on a circle and back tack. Okay, and because you stitched the pocket 3/8 and you stitched the side seam 5/8, you're going to have a really good fold right there on the side. And there's your inside understitching on the pocket. Very smooth and seamless, and you have a nice crease fold right there because you're going to fold and press your pocket towards the front piece of the jacket. So I've folded the pockets down. Here we're looking at the wrong side. If you notice, I've removed my stickers. Some of them are a little harder than most because you got stitching through it, but they come off easily. And I just trim my pockets, and what you're going to do is baste each pocket down on the front piece of the jacket. Just baste it down so when you put the band on, it'll be kind of easy. So baste each side here and base this pocket here, and I just lightly pressed it, and there you go. You've got a nice pocket. So the next step is to gather the bottom of the jacket so we can measure it and fit it to the bottom band. I like gathering with dental floss, especially when it's a heavier fabric and we're gathering through the pocket. So I like taking the dental floss, and you guys have seen my my gathering tutorial on YouTube. I'll link that in here in case you haven't. And you just start with the dental floss on one end and zigzag on top of it all the way through. So here's a dental floss here, and I'm going to gather over it. Until the end. There we go. And it's gathered. So now that we've got the front band stitched to the knit band, you'll see we stitched 5/8. What we're going to do is fold the band over. I'm reminding you that we are making an unlined version of the bomber jacket. Okay, so match the notches of the band first. Okay, we'll take it's folded. No need to press. This is a nice knit, and it'll sit for a minute. We'll press when we're done. Okay, so fold the band in half, matching the notches. You see there. And then what we're going to do is pin matching notches to the bottom, right sides together, to the bottom of the jacket band. All right, pin both sides first, both notches, because we're going to do the stretch and pin. And pin on the band side, okay? And then what we're going to do is stretch and pin. Now there's notches on the bottom of the jacket. We're going to take the single notch and pin it. Single notch of the jacket and pin it through all 3 layers, the 2 layers of the band and the single layer of the jacket. Pin it down. And now we're going to do stretch and pin. All right, so we're going to take this side, we're going to stretch until the knit is flat, hold it in the middle, pin down. Okay, stretch on the other side, take the other side, stretch, pin it down in the middle. Okay, now let's come to the middle. Take the 2 pins, stretch down, pin it in the middle. So you see you still got the stretching going on. Okay, go back to the other side, stretch it, pin it down in the middle. Okay, let's go to the other side. Stretch it, make sure it lays down, pin it in the middle. Okay, let's come back here, stretch, lay it down, pin it in the middle. Okay, going back and forth, make sure that you have even stretch. Pin it in the middle. Okay, come back over here, lay it down, pin to pin, stretch, hold, pin it in the middle. Okay, back to this side, stretch, hold it down, pin it in the middle. Okay, so okay, so now we've got it all pinned, and it's pinned and stretched, you'll see the stretch like this. See, there's a little stretch. It's not much over here because that's where the band is, but you see the stretch here, here, see, and it's all even. They're little wells, okay, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to stitch to the next pin and stretch. Let's do a back stitch. Okay, you're going to stitch pin to pin. Okay, stop, put your needle down, and see that stretch right there? Stretch until it's flat. Pull the knit until the fabric is flat. And then don't over pull because you can overstretch. So don't pull too much. So you're going to stitch all 3 layers, but there's a stretch right there. Pull it till it's flat, stitch to the next pin. Through all thicknesses. This is the pocket. Okay, stop. Leave your needle down. Adjust. Pull the knit to the next pin. Okay, hold the pin here and just keep it flat and stitch. Let the machine take the fabric through. Don't pull too much. You'll know if you're doing that. Needle down. Okay, here's another stretch well. See? Flat, stitch. Flat, stitch. And do this all the way through from pin to pin. Stitch in 5/8 still, and then stitch to the end. Okay, the band is on the bottom. Now I've serged mine. If you do not have a serger, you can trim it, you can pink it, but again, it is an unlined version, so I like the inside to look, you know, just as neat because you don't want frayed edges or anything. And my fabric real fray, so I'll be serging and trimming all of this. So you can do what's necessary for your fabric, and if you don't have a serger, you can pink it with pinking shears or just trim it down very closely. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to prepare the zipper. So this is what the jacket looks like so far, and I like to, if you're following along with the simplicity pattern, I'd like to put the zipper in the beginning because there's just not so much going on. You got sleeves everywhere and all that. So I bought a 22-inch separating zipper, and for those of you who are, you know, squeamish about zippers, don't have a whole lot of experience with them and everything, you know, they're straight stitching. I love working with zippers. This is a sport separating zipper, and one of the rules you will learn about working with zippers is, particularly if this is a separating zipper, you're always going to shorten from the top. So sometimes your garments are not, you know, perfect for the size of the zipper. So just remember the bottom is where you start. Okay, you never want to modify there. You always want to shorten or modify from the top. And if you notice on this one, it will be modified from the top because it extends beyond. And we're going to have 5/8 seam allowance right here. So this zipper will probably be modified to there. So what we're going to do, and this is really easy, and I know you say, yeah, it's easy. What we're going to do, the zipper, this is what it's going to look like, you know, when it's open. Okay, so to apply the zipper, all right, you want to take the zipper apart, and let's put that one off to the side here, okay? And what we're going to do is turn the zipper over, turn the zipper tape over so the zipper pull is facing down on your fabric, because what's going to happen, we're going to stitch it and then we're going to turn it over and top stitch it. Okay, because I'm top stitching my jacket, but your zipper area needs to be top stitched also so it can stay sturdy. All right, so what we're going to do is start. Let me turn this so you can see. This is the right side of the jacket, the right hand side of the jacket. This is the right side of the fabric. All right, so this is going to be our bottom. Remember, it's unlined, so we've got to make sure we line up down at the bottom. Let me take the zipper pull away. So we're going to take it and put it right there on the bottom. So when you turn it, it's going to look really clean, just like that, right at the bottom of the front band. Okay, it is measured because totally we want about 5/8 seam allowance. We want about that much. Okay, so I'm gonna put this with about a 1/4 inch space, you know, from the edge. I'm gonna put my zipper tape about a 1/4 inch away from my fabric edge. All right, so we're gonna start right there. We're gonna pin there and just go all the way up, making sure you catch through the seams. Go all the way up, about a 1/4 away from the fabric edge. Okay, and the pattern's not gonna say it like this, but this is the best practice that I have found. And it's easy, particularly because we're doing an unlined version. Okay, when you do a lining, because you'll know the fundamentals of how this jacket is constructed, a lining will be very, very easy for you. I didn't want to teach the lining if you've never done this jacket or a bomber jacket at all, because it can be, it's a lot. It's a lot. So the purpose of this, of teaching an unlined version, is for you to learn the fundamentals of the, you know, craft of the jacket, so that you will know it inside. And then putting a lining is like, oh, it'll make sense to you. Okay, so here's the zipper pull. You know, you can put it back down or whatever. Okay, so we're going to pin the zipper down to the right hand side of the jacket with the zipper pull facing down, because once it's stitched, you're going to turn it over. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go to the machine, and using our zipper foot, we're going to stitch. We're going to stitch about a 1/2 inch in. Okay, it's going to be our first basting stitch. That's what we're going to call it. So you can do a wider stitch if you like, but that's how we're going to do. We're going to go start at the top and end at the bottom of the zipper tape. It's got a broken hinge, but it's still a great machine. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we're really doing a basting stitch because we're going to turn it over. And you know, if you're nervous about doing a zipper, hand stitch it in. That's always a good thing. I'm always a fan of hand stitching if you're unsure about anything. Plus, hand stitching comes out. You know, so I'll do a little wider stitch, maybe a 3.5, and I'm going to line up my zipper foot with the teeth of the zipper, and then because we're going to fold it over and stitch it anyway, so do a back stitch, taking the pins out as I go, and just keep your zipper foot lined up with the teeth of the zipper. Really easy. Take the pins out as you go. This forces you to go slow also. Find that out. Okay. All the way down. Okay. Get down to this pin. Now I want to stop at this point, put my needle down, raise my foot up. Then I want to move my zipper pull, because they can just be a nuisance and be in the way. So move it out of the way so you can have a clean, straight stitch all the way down. Take this pin out, and then stitch all the way down to the clean edge. Okay, do a back stitch. There you go. See how clean that is? right at the bottom, and then we're going to do a top stitch right there. See, all the way. See, the zipper is in, and then we're going to do the same side, the same way, the other side the same way. And because we're starting at the bottom, when we put the other zipper on, we're going to start at the bottom as well. You know the zipper is a exact measurement, so if you put the tape in the same exact location of your bottom of your jacket, your seams will line up, will be lined up there, because it was all the same. Okay, so you won't have a problem with measuring where the seams go. Okay. Okay, here is a tip on how to set the other side of the zipper. We have one side in, the zipper pull side, and we want to stitch the other side, the other zipper, to the left side of the jacket. Okay, here's the right side. It's already been turned. Go ahead and put the second part of the second zipper tape in and close the zipper. Okay, turn the jacket inside out so that your right sides are together. Here's the zipper, here's the other side. Okay, the zipper is closed. Both pieces are together. Turn the jacket inside out, right sides together, and line up the bottom of the other side of the jacket with the bottom of the zipper that's already in there. Okay? And what we're going to do is pin it on this side, and then you see where those seams are? Then you line those up. Okay, let's do those first. I can't see. Line the seams up. You can see. Lining up where the left side of the zipper tape and the right side of the zipper tape. Line them up and put a pin right there in that seam so you can make sure that those seams are lined up properly, and then you got the bottom lined up properly as well. Okay. All right, so line up those two. You've got the bottom lined up perfectly, and you got those two seams lined up perfectly. And you're going to start stitching at the bottom. Go all the way up, okay? You know, let's pull this back a little because we want to make sure our seams are, the zipper is placed 1/4 inch just like the other side. Want it really even, because what's going to happen, the very top is where sometimes you get jacked up with putting the collar on. Okay, and then we're going to pin the zipper all the way up about 1/4 inch in on the fabric. Okay, you're going to stitch, pin all the way up about 1/4 inch in, just like you did the other side. Okay, this time the zipper is together, which is okay, because you just want to make sure that the zipper is lined up properly on your fabric. So pin it all the way up. Get my frayed edges out of the way. Pin it all the way up. These are right sides together. Okay, so you got to go back and check that. And then it should be exact at the top. Yay! Love when a plan comes together. Okay, stitch there. Now the zipper pull is here, but it's far enough up where you can get past it. Okay, so remember, we're going to start stitching at the bottom. We're going to come all the way up. Okay, using your zipper foot with the teeth, with the zipper foot teeth. Let's move this back a little so make sure. Okay, I want to make sure you can see that. Okay, so we're going to start at the bottom of the other side. Okay, foot down, needle down. All right, we're going to stitch Let's do a back stitch. Okay. All right. We're going to use the target is the teeth right up against the side of the zipper foot. Okay, stop. You're going to go slowly, stopping at every pin. Okay, I'm still on a wide stitch. It's okay. In case using a wide stitch is really helpful when if you make a mistake and you got to pick it out. So you and that seam ripper won't have that much of a problem if you do a wider stitch, especially if your fabric will allow you to pull it out, you know, thread by thread is easier. Okay, so let's just stitch past this zipper pull. Yay, that happened too. That's good. Alrighty, so take the 2 pins out, which were your main target points, and you want to flip it over and make sure, wow, look at that. Did that line up perfectly or what? Love when that happens. Okay, so you got the zipper in front, and what we're going to do is press. We're going to press the fold of the fabric on top of the zipper and top stitch it. That's what we're going to do next. Love this. So sometimes I like to use my zipper foot for top stitching, particularly if I'm top stitching at a zipper. It just gives me a good guide and enough room for my top stitching. I'm not using a different top stitch thread because mine is a white jacket. So if you're using a denim and you're doing maybe a gold thread, you may want to get a top stitch thread because it's just a little heavier and it gives you a really good clean look. And I'll top stitch on 3.5 or 3. For this jacket, I'm going to put it on 3, and I'm going to use my zipper foot. I'm going to do a back stitch at the top, and what I'm going to use as a guide, just so I can make sure I have a straight top stitch, is the edge of the fabric, which I've pressed down onto the zipper, the edge of the fabric on my zipper foot. And I'm just going to really focus and use that edge of the fabric as a guide so that I achieve a really straight top stitch. Because top stitching can make or break the look and design of your fabric. You'll be really mad. But that's also why you do a wide stitch on a wide stitch length when you're top stitching. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way down on this side, and when I do the other side, I'll probably come up the other end. But just really focus on whatever your guide is, the edge of the foot, and it really clears the zipper pull. Let's do a tiny back stitch so I can just make sure. Okay, so that came out nicely. And then you just want to give it a good press with some steam so it'll lay nicely when you... I got so many frayed edges. My fabric is starting to fray on the inside. So there's your top stitching, and we're going to top stitch on the other side as well. I'll start at the bottom. I've pressed it down nicely on top of the zipper. Okay, and again I'm going to use the edge of my fabric and the edge of my zipper foot as a guide. So I'm going to put my, yep, end of the bobbin. Don't you hate when that happens? Okay, yep, check your bobbin before you go do, no, it's not the end of the bobbin. Alright, here's a part of the tutorial. Alright. Oh, okay, this is good stuff. Look, so my bobbin started messing up because the rule is whenever something goes wrong on the bobbin, on the bottom, it's usually a problem on the top. And look, I ran out of thread. Okay, so we're going to rethread the machine. That's funny. Rethread the machine. I didn't even notice. Just get the machine threaded. And then I think I'm going to have to start that top stitch all over again. Okay, because it might be kind of ugly. Alright, so I'm going to start right in the seam where I stopped. I'm not going to take it out. You know, if you make a mistake, take it out and you haven't gotten this far. Okay, so we want to continue our top stitching. Okay. Alright, keep going all the way up the zipper. Being mindful of your target line so that you can get a straight stitch all the way up. Okay, and this also keeps the zipper. This is also part, top stitching is also part of your zipper installation, so you'll have a really stable zipper. Okay, there we go. Okay, your zipper is in. So we've got the jacket body put together. There's pockets, there's the front band, there's a sport zipper, separating zipper, that's all together. So now let's work on the sleeves. I'm going to put that to the side. We'll work on the sleeves. So we've got a sleeve front and a sleeve back. Remember, this is a two-piece sleeve. So we're going to put these two sleeves together completely with the armbands as well that go on it. That is piece number 6, the sleeve band. We're going to work on that as well. So let's remove the pattern pieces. We've already put our dots. We've already put our dots on the right sides of the fabric. Okay, we've already done that. All right, so what you want to do is take, we're putting right sides together, take a sleeve front and a sleeve back, put it together, match your notches, okay, and start to pin the inside and the outside, okay. Do the same here, right sides together. All right, match your notches, pin, and then pin down the sides and match these notches. Okay, pin down both sides. Now if you notice, this part lines up right here at the top. Sometimes you want to make sure it lines up perfectly. It doesn't. This is a shorter piece on this side, so you want to pin it right there, and it fits just perfectly at that 5/8 inch little ledge, little nook there. And then you want to pin all the way down, so you're going to stitch both sides of the sleeve pieces together, matching your notches, okay? And then we will attach the sleeve bands. So you want to put the two sleeve pieces together. I've pinned them together starting at the top where that little 5/8 little ledge is on the sleeve back. Alright, so stitch 5/8 down both sides, a little back stitch there. Okay, you got your notches pinned so the sleeve should line up. Line up exactly, but that's probably in my cutting. Alright, I'm going to do the other side. Your notches are pinned and matched up. here is a sleeve. Let's take the pins out. Okay, and the sleeve looks like this. All right, it's a two-piece sleeve. All right, the larger piece is in the back. All right, and then we're going to press, thread everywhere. We're going to press each seam. Use your pressing ham so you can get in there and press the seams down, or you can press as you did one and one, but I'm going to press each seam down, and I'll probably serge these also. All right, and then we'll attach the sleeve onto the jacket. Okay, we've got our sleeve bands on each sleeve. Got both of them done. You are almost done with this jacket. All right, so the most important thing we're going to do is match the notches up, because you do have a left side sleeve and a right side sleeve. So, and the notches tell you that. So open up the side of the jacket. This is where your sleeve is going to go. Sleeve is going to fit right there. Okay, and all of this is open because that's where the collar band is going to go. So you see the sleeve, you know, it's shaped. It's got the curved shape. All right, so this single notch is going to be pinned down on the single notch of the front of the jacket. So if you follow your notches and your seams, you cannot go wrong. So there's a single notch. Here's the side seam, and pin on the sleeve side, because that's how you're going to be stitching. Okay, and come around, and here's the double notch. Line those up. Okay, so you got the single notch, the side seam, and the double notch, and then just come up on the side, on the back side, and pin the top edge of the sleeve to the back, and then just pin it in the middle, because it does fit. If your cutting was correct, it fits perfectly. Okay, and then you want to come up the other side, matching the top. You'll see you got another little 5/8 little ledge right there. That little ledge right there, I love those because it's perfect measurement, and it tells you exactly where to place the sleeve on the back side, on the front side rather, on this particular piece. But pin all the way around. You're going to do both sides like this. Okay, so see how the sleeve, and I'll show you. So the sleeve is set in around both sides, the front side of the jacket and the back side, and you're going to stitch. Start here, go all the way around, and end at the other side on the top. Okay, both sides. Okay, let's do the bands now. There's the sleeve band. All right, so we'll put it together. It's going to look just like this. All right, so we'll take the sleeve band. It's got all the notches already cut out. All right, put that to the side. All right, so, and it's got our right side marked. So put right sides together and mark this notch. And here, because I'm stitching knit together, I'm going to use a zigzag stitch. Okay, we like that, right? Because if anything has to stretch, you want a zigzag stitch in it to stretch along with it. Okay, let's make sure you can see. All right, just a regular zigzag. All right, and stitch all the way down. Okay, those two edges. All right, so we've got two bands, and what you're going to do is open up the band, and let's open up. I'd like to open up the seam as well to make it flat. You're going to turn it over, fold it onto itself, matching the raw edges and the seam on the inside. Let's go ahead and pin that. Turn it over. Here's the right side because we got our little sticker there. Okay. And here's the band. Here's the sleeve band. Now put it on. That's how it'll fit. Okay. And then we're going to take this, and you see there's notches that already match up. Those notches right there, and that's going to match up with the notch on the sleeve. Okay, so we're just going to do one. Here's the sleeve band. Here's the sleeve, rather. Okay, now this is going to be ugly, but it works. All right, it's going to be real ugly. And what I typically like to do is I like to put the fabric right side inside the sleeve, because that's the part that's going to be, that has to stretch. Okay, match the seams first. Okay, and I like to match the underseam, the inside seam of the sleeve, with the seam of the band. I'm telling you, it's going to be ugly, but you can do it. All right, so match the seams together and pin. Let's pin on the inside, because that's where you're going to be stitching. Okay, and then you want to stretch. Just pull the band all the way out. Don't be afraid to pull it, and match that notch. Okay, pin on the inside. And then let's pull it all the way out again and pin on the other side, directly on the other side that you pinned the first time, because you want to make your stretches even. But see, it does fit. So you want to stretch, pull, pin. Okay, and then stretch again, opposite sides, stretch it out, make sure it lays flat, and pin on the other side. Okay, you should have even stretching going all around. It's just like putting the lug nuts back on a tire after you change it. Just go opposite sides so you have an even stretch on each side. However many pins you need to use, that's fine too. But you're going to stretch and pin. And you notice is what the pattern doesn't go through with you. So stretch, going on opposite sides, stretch and pin. Okay, stretch, grab it, and pin. Okay, and then when you go into the machine, just make sure you can see. All right, start on a seam. Start on the seam of the band. All right, and I'm going to straight stitch. I'm not going to zigzag. Okay, foot down, needle down. We're going to stitch 5/8, and again pull and stretch to the next pin. So you're just going to stitch to the next pin, stop, needle down, turn it. This is a tiny space, but you see that right there? You're going to pull, stretch flat to the next pin, stop, needle down, there's another stretch, pull and stretch to the next pin. Don't pull too hard because you don't want your sleeve band overstretched. Down. But you should have even stretch from your pinning all the way around. Pull and stretch to the next pin. Stop. Stretch to the next pin, going through all 3 layers. 2 layers of the band and 1 layer of the fabric. Stop. Pull and stretch to the next pin. Stop. Stretch to the next pin, and you should be done. Okay, let's do a little back stitch just to make sure. Okay, and then let's take all of these pins out, all these 100 pins we put in here. Okay, and there's your sleeve. Turn it, and your band is on. Okay, there you go, and you should have even gathers all the way around. All right, and I'll probably serge that because it's so raggedy, But there it is, and you can even kind of give yourself a little taste of it. There's the sleeve right there. Okay, do the other side and you're all set, and we're ready to put the sleeves on the jacket. Okay, so we are ready for the neckband. We've got sleeves, we've got the body of the jacket, we got the bottom band, and now we are ready for the neckband. So I'm going to lay this down like this. The neckband, okay, piece number 7, got notches cut. It's a folded piece, okay, so you open it up to the right side and fold it on itself. Beautiful, beautiful neckband, and it goes on just like that. Okay, so here's the right side of the jacket. You see how we're going to match up. We're going to match up the neckband to the jacket, and what we're going to do, this is the right side, and the neckband is folded, so it's already on its right side. We're going to match up the notches with a little stretch. Okay, match up those notches and pin. Okay, let's get that out of here. Okay, match up those notches and pin those 2 middle notches, and then let's take the ends and pin those. You see how the edge comes to a point? What we want to do, because we're going to be stitching 5/8, lay just about 1/4 of an inch of the collar band on top of the zipper, okay, and pin there. About 1/4 of an inch overlap, okay, right there, right, and do the same thing on the other side. I just kind of figured this out from making a number of jackets with this collar band. It's just best to do that so you can have a really even touch at the top when you're done. Okay, again, pin but overlap about 1/4 of an inch over the collar band, over the zipper, sorry, over the zipper, 1/4 inch of the collar band over the zipper. Okay, and then this band doesn't require as much stretch as the arm bands or even the bottom band. So you just want to lay it down, pinning right at all of your seams. You've got 3 arm seams up here. So let's just make sure we pin carefully right there. Okay. Here's 1. And then just stretch a little. You know, it's a very casual stretch when it comes to the neckband, not like the arm bands. Okay, so just stretch it on and pin it down evenly so that you can stitch it and get a nice smooth band, because it's on a curve. Don't forget that. It is on a curve. So you want to stretch and get a nice stitch all the way around. Okay, you see that curve? Okay, so there's your neckband pinned on. It's got a nice stretch all the way around. Okay, and then we're going to stitch from here all the way here, and when we're at the sewing machine I'll show you how to stitch right here and come off this edge so you're right where you need to be. So now we have the neckband pinned on to the jacket. You can never use too many pins. You see I've got a pin at the start, and then I just kind of put a pin, stretching it just a little. Remember, the neckband doesn't need as much stretch as the cuffs, you know, so there was a lot of stretch, but I took it all the way to the end. And what I want you to do is be really careful. The reason I asked you to leave about 1/4 of an inch overlapping the zipper is because when you're stitching 5/8 inch, I want to make sure that you get an even stitch right there where it's going to meet the edge of your fabric. Okay, so we're going to stitch the neckband down, stretching where necessary. You know, it's not that much, but we're going to make sure you get a good flat stitch. And remember, it's on a curve. So those of you who have taken my lessons about stitching on a curve, just remember that you're on a curve. So just be mindful of that. Okay. Right at 5/8, put the corner of, I want to make sure you can see this, put the corner of the edge of the neckband right at your 5/8 so that you can get a good start. Okay, you might want to do a back stitch. Okay, we're stitching a curve. Sure you don't get any wrinkles in the neck. I think I got one in there. I'm going to fix that. Be sure to take all your pins out. And then you should have a clean finish on your neckband. Okay, a collar that stands up nicely. Now what you want to do is just check where we have to really make sure we got our straight lines. And let's zip it up so we can start checking to see where we are, where we have to adjust the zipper at the top. Okay, zip up now. Okay. Okay. So if you see, I think we did it, guys. I think we got it right there where it's supposed to be. Yep. Let's unzip it a little bit so we can see. Because when we turn it down, that's what it should look like. Okay. All right. Let's get finished. You're done putting all your pieces together. You just got to clean up and fold down your zipper, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, so here's the finished neckband. I've serged mine, and so it lays down. The inside lays down nicely. The neck stands up. So what you need to do is take your needle and thread, old-fashioned way, and make sure that your band is tucked down right here, so you can make sure you have a clean neck. So take your needle and thread and just stitch it down right here, right where your zipper tape is, to finish it off, and you are done with your bomber jacket. Okay, have fun wearing it, and we'll take some final summary pictures of it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.